Welcome to Learn with Syed. I'm Syed Mahmood, and I am not a native English speaker. I didn't learn English as a young child. I remember when I went for an admission test at a school in Sylhet, Bangladesh. I answered math, I answered the Bangla bit, but I did not even touch English because at the age of 8, I didn't know any English. I just remember seeing the letter R, I think. Until the age of 26, I lived in Bangladesh, where English is not spoken by ordinary people on a daily basis. Yet, Alhamdulillah, I learned how to speak English. There is nothing special about that. You don't need to be a genius to learn English. It is just a language. If I can do it, I'm pretty sure that you can do it too. So, let's look at 10 steps to improve your English speaking skills. First of all, realize that you don't need to be perfect. It is okay to make mistakes. I'm making videos on YouTube and I'm actually teaching. Is my English perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes, and that's how you learn. The more you speak, the better you'll get. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who is just learning English and start thinking of yourself as someone who actually speaks English, someone who uses the language. Think of it this way: how do children learn a language? By using whatever words they hear around them within their surroundings, maybe their parents or siblings or others. They do not worry about making mistakes. That is how they learn. Now, I know that it is not that simple for an adult. It can be quite challenging to get rid of the inhibition. But the first step is to acknowledge the fact that it is all right to make mistakes. Second point, 1.5 billion people around the world speak English. Do you know what percentage of them are actually native English speakers? It might sound surprising, but less than 25%. That means, in the wide world out there, 3 out of 4 people had to learn English just like you. Depending on where you live, you're more likely to use English with another non-native speaker as a lingua franca. So my point is, you don't need to sound like a native English speaker. Stop worrying about learning British English or American English. Even when speaking to a native speaker, as long as your English is comprehensible and understandable, you will do just fine. Do I sound like a British person? No, and that's okay. In fact, if you move to an English-speaking country as an adult, or more precisely after the age of 6 to 12, anytime after that, if you move to an English-speaking country and spend decades there, there is a 96% chance that you will never sound like a native speaker, and that's fine. Moving on to number 3. Speaking English with someone who speaks another language that is common between you and them. Here's the problem with that. What are you likely to end up doing is using the English words and sentences that you are comfortable with, and then use the local language instead when you can't find the right English expressions. So you do not really come out of your comfort zone. As a result, you don't learn much. So what is the way around this? Enforce English-only periods. Agree with your friend or family member that for a certain period of time you will speak nothing but English. This will force you to come out of your comfort zone and make you use English words and expressions that you are less familiar with. You know them, but you're not too sure about them. So when you have to speak English and you're forced within that period of time to use it, you will start using those English expressions, and that will not make you perfect maybe, but it will improve your fluency. Number 4. Even better, find someone who does not speak the same language as you. If you can find a native speaker, that's great. But for most people, that's not really a feasible option. So find anyone from another country, speak to them in English. In the 21st century, it is very easy to communicate to people with the other part of the world. How do you find them? Some of you had requested me to start a Facebook group for this, and I have complied. I will leave a link in the description below. You can go to the group, Leave your contact details in the comments of the pinned post at the top. You can also see others have already commented expressing their interest. Just start communicating with one or more of them. I know some guys there just keep trying to find girls to speak to. Good luck with that, but you don't really have to find a boyfriend or girlfriend there. Just find anyone to speak to. You'll do just fine. Number 5. Don't get too hung up on grammar. The key to learning a language is finding a balance between studying and practicing. Speaking English fluently is not the same as knowing perfect grammar. Even the native speakers don't know all the grammar rules. Think of your native language. Do you know all the grammar rules? Not really. Fluency is about being able to communicate. I'm not saying that you should make mistakes, but sometimes it's important to put the textbook on one side and experience the language firsthand. Number 6. Listening. Listening is a great way of improving your speaking skills. The more you put in, the more you can produce. Listening to news or movies helps you to learn one type of English, but you need to listen to everyday conversations as well. That helps you with the regular day-to-day English. Listen and notice how English is used in casual contexts. For example, using ya instead of you. When do the native speakers use ya, and when do they prefer you? You will hear them say see ya instead of see you. Both of them are okay. But do they ever say thank ya, or is it always thank you? Notice these little things and your English will sound much more natural. Number 7. Repeat to yourself. When you listen to a conversation on YouTube, pause it and try to repeat on your own. You can even record yourself on your mobile phone and listen to it. I know it sounds a little silly, but many people have found it useful. Give it a try. Number 8. English uses stresses in words and sentences. That means you will need to stress or emphasize certain words and syllables to give the words and sentences a different meaning. Listen to where native speakers place the emphasis when they speak and try to repeat the same way. A sentence uttered with different emphasis can have very different meanings. For example, I'm going to give you a 7-word sentence and it can have 7 different meanings without changing a single word, but simply by emphasizing on different parts of it. So listen carefully. The sentence is, I never said she stole your money. Now listen to it being said in different ways. I never said she stole your money. 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 Did you understand the 7 different meanings and the subtle variations in the way they were pronounced? Please let me know in the comments below, and while you're at it, please don't forget to click subscribe. Number 9. Learn phrases and idioms. Using simple words, you can express yourself, but think of phrases as additional flavorings. Phrases make your English more enjoyable to the listener. In some cases, certain idioms and phrases express meanings with such eloquence that simple words cannot. For example, you'd better strike while the iron is hot, instead of you'd better make use of this opportunity while it lasts. Before I tell you my tip number 10, do you like to travel, experience new cultures, and try delicious street food? Well, we do, and we like to share it with you on our other YouTube channel. So please head over to our second YouTube channel by clicking on one of the videos on the screen. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, tip number 10. Learn informal expressions. In the right context, what's up can sound more natural than how are you, or keep in touch instead of maintain contact. That's all for today. Please let me know if you found this video to be helpful. Please give it a thumbs up. See you in the next one.